Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a calculator for kilt makers, and we're to the point of helping them define the apron pleat split. So when you make a kilt, you have a big piece of fabric, the middle third becomes the back of the kilt and gets pleated, and the right side swings around as the under apron, and the left side swings around as the actual apron. And so we've got to decide how to divide the fabric up between those. All right, we started in, I guess we built this table yesterday. What you're doing is you're defining the actual measurements, the waist, the hips, and the length, and that's really the three measurements they need to decide how to make your kilt. This is an editable box. You can't really see it, but it is. This is just a simple value. The ideal waist and length just copy over, and the hips is the larger of the waist or the actual hips. Okay, what are we doing? Kilt measurement table. All right. Well, I think I want to do a little styling on this and a little formatting on this and move on to the next. Let's see. So this is our view. I think the position of this, I think it's taking up more than it needs to. So let's make these, well, let's start here. Let's pull a constant out. Oops. Yeah, that's definitely better. Okay. Why did it just get worse again? Oh, that's my run, not my preview. Okay, and then the next thing, this ideal doesn't look very good. We do something here. This thing only records numbers to the quarter inch or to the 1/4. I guess they're not inches. That really is what we'd like here. Let's see if we can figure out what does that. So that's the pleats view. Well, I guess we'll look at plate view. Plate shape, no, tartan. Slider, oh, format fraction. Okay, we just made that. All right, that'll work. And it only works down to the scale of a quarter, so I'm not bothered if, oh no. Format fraction. What just happened there? It only works. Okay, we're gonna have to work on that thing. Okay. What's the editor do? Okay, what else was going on here? I think otherwise, the other issue I have. Oh, I wanted to format the text box, and I probably should use what I use over here. So, Tartan View, what are you doing way up there? And this double format is really a utility. Okay. Tartan View. Validated text field. Now, okay, that's an improvement. Still wider than I want. I don't know if that. Yeah, so 1.5 works, but 31.5 doesn't. Okay. Let's take what we got here. Box to text field. Yeah, I'm puzzled why this. Maybe it's just stretched out to take the whole length rather than be its natural size. Here, I guess. All right. We certainly can improve that double thing, double format. Do we have tests for that? Well, let's make some utility. Clearly, we can stand a bunch of tests already. Okay, let's make this a test file. Excuse me. These are double format. Double plus format tests. Oh, okay. All right, let's import EG test too, since we've fixed it up so nicely. Okay, and we're going to do a check. Tests with dot 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 insert function. Okay. And the insert function is bracketed. Okay, the examples. Well, the input is a double. And let's just take all these. Okay, so if we input 1/2, well, let's start with 0. We expect 0. I think that's all I need to say. 1/2, we expect 1.75. Okay, and then let's, oh yeah. Okay, we'll do assert equals $0 dot input dot format fraction, and we expect $0. And I don't know, I really like the style e.g. lowercase better. Well, that's not it. Okay, this test is fractions down to 1/4. Okay, this should fail. No, it should pass. 5. Okay, that's given what it is now. Let's add the first one, 25th. That should be 1/4. Oh, I've got one here somewhere. All right, that's going to fail. Okay, that would pass. Okay. Well, what I want us to do then, let's add the cases for a number bigger. Okay, this will fail. Whoops. Multi-line. That seems like a very odd thing to say. Okay, do the test pass though. Should fail. Okay. 2.25, right. Okay, so I think what I want to do is split the value. Equals mod f of self. Okay, and then what fraction string equals okay. And then I'm going to set that thing. Okay, and so instead of self, var, and then down here return fraction string. Should get the same test passing and failing. Last one failing. Okay, and I'm going to switch on part. Well, this does get messy. Okay, I'm going to switch on part, and in the end, well, I'm going to say if whole is 0, return fraction string, else oh, sorry, I'm losing your comments. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get there. Whole string. Whoops. Okay, and we also have to take out these cases. Okay, so if it's 0, it just gives us whatever we had, which it would have returned it anyway. If it's more than 0, we got to do the whole and the dot and that. All right, make sure this passes. Oh, good point. Oh, if the fraction is empty, you're right. Is that what this is telling me? Yes. Why is the fraction 1? Oh, the default thing. Okay. Let's do that this way then. If whole is 0, return fraction string. Else if part is 0, return whole. Otherwise, return that. Now, am I right about how modf works? Let's make sure. Okay, thanks. I guess we're supposed to know. All right, let's make sure this does what it wants to. Oh, it is the format. And this is part. That's why that other one failed. Okay. I don't know if I want to get into ints. Yeah, maybe it should. All right. Make format fraction work for whole number plus fraction, not just limited to small range. Okay. And now I'm going to rename this. Let's make this format quarter. We'll just embed that in there. And then we can, whoops, format quarter, well, whoops, well. Okay, there we go. Okay. And let's take care of that. Oh boy. Okay, and I don't know if it. Let's see. Do I just, if I multiply by 4 and round? Yeah, I mean, in this case, I kind of know they will be, but just to be kind of safe on this, I think. Yeah. So okay. So let quarter value. Okay. So if we take self divided by 4, times 4, and round that, and then divide by 4, okay, we know we get the set. Ooh, where's round? Can I convert this to int? Does round give us a int? Type nothing. Why is double to floating point rounded rule? All right. Yeah, he seems convinced by it. Can I probably have double to? Is round a modifier? Is it rounded? Okay. Well, if we convert 0.99 times 4 is 3.9 whatever, rounded. Well, let's take 1.01. If I take 1.01 times 4 is 4.04, and rounded is just 4.0. I don't know. Actually, I think I want to do int here. And it's like, well, what that tells me is I better write my test first on this one. Okay, let's make a new test. Okay, let's take an easy one. 0.01. 0.001. All right. We expect that to be 0. Expect 1. Now, rounds in place. Round returns copy. Okay. I'm trying to think what the borderline cases will be. I mean, if we get 0.74, I guess I expect that to be 3/4. Does that seem plausible? 0.07 times 4 is 0.28. I'm screwing something up. All right, if I take the value and round it times 4, 0.28, round it doesn't help. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be rounded. Yeah, you're right. It's got to be rounded. But I'm thinking rounding it, I'm ultimately multiplying by 4. Is 0.2, sorry, yeah, 0.28. I don't know. Let's see the test fail, and then we'll see what we do. And actually, I'll add a 0.76. Okay, yeah. Right now we format fractions. Oh, this is 0.74. That's going to change. Okay, 4 times 0.74 is 2.8 plus 0.16 or something, 2.96. And rounded should be 3. Okay. So we round this. We got to convert it back to a double again, right? Round. I hate these conversions. Okay, and then quarter value, we got to use it. What have I got? Cannot convert value of type double to expected argument type floated point rounding rule. Self is double. That's weird. Self. Okay, why aren't you? That one works. Okay. Let me break these out. That's well, okay. Let times 4 equal self times 4.0. Oh, rounded is maybe. Okay, let's. Rounded. Oh, I got to do a rule. Oh, that's almost as bad as round. Rounded returns. Mutating function. Oh, how weird. So I got to pass a floating point rounded rule? What's the normal one? Yeah. Let's get this back in there. Okay. This back over here. Okay. No. I think I just have to be explicit. Rounded. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's rounded. No, I don't think this is doing it either, is it? Or maybe I've convinced myself I've gone back and forth. Yeah, he expects to know the rounding rule. I don't know. Is this like times 4 dot rounded with an implicit rule? Yeah. Okay. And this fails if it's a let? Oh, rounded makes a copy, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I think I can do this. Sometimes 4 dot rounded. Okay. Where am I going here? Double int this divided by 4.0. And now that should only get values that correspond to integers divided by 4, so this part should be fine. This is almost a can't happen. Okay, let's see if that's correct. that was too hard. Okay, let's pull this out. Okay, let's do it the other way. I almost do like this better at times. I'll put the int on here. And then make sure I've done this extract right. Okay. And then fractions must. This really is a can't happen. I don't know what I should do. Well, 0. Well, this is, I guess I can live with this. It's kind of a can't happen though. I guess I don't know if I should just do one of those fatal errors. Just seems. Oh, I still did something wrong. Okay, well, that's why we do this. If it was 0, it came out formatted 0. If whole int is 0, right, this is. If they're both 0, we're going to return 0. Otherwise, if the whole int is 0, return just the whole int. Just return the fraction. If its part is the one that was 0, return the whole int. Otherwise, we got a complex one. All right, I think we're closed in. Except I got a mark somewhere. Okay. All right. Well, this was harder than I thought, but I think we're better off. This feels much more explicit. Let me make this private. Okay. And these will all work, and it should show up in our run. Yeah. Okay, and that is visible here. Okay. I think we're okay. Alrighty. Let's take that. Whoops. Okay. And this was apron plate splits. And we also improve formatting of text field on measurements. Okay. Well, I don't think I have more to do at this point on this. Okay. Let's move on to the splits. And I guess this can go down here. Okay, so the splits, let's go back to this. Once you have your actual measurements, you're going to make a bunch of these little tables, and they're your splits, okay? And split being, you've got your waist is, say, 40, then you got to decide how much is in front and how much is in back, and same for the hips. Okay, so we will create a table. We'll start it with a 50-50 split, and we'll have the 2 rows, and they need to be editable somehow to force things back and forth between them. I'm not quite sure how to do that best, but we'll get there. And we want multiple of these. Okay, so let's close this. I think we can close that too for now. Measurement table, that's fine. All right, apron plate view. Okay, so now you might think, oh, you just create a plus sign and you allow these. Well, they don't really need arbitrary numbers. And my wife seemed pretty convinced like 5 is plenty, because you can always edit one. And if you decide, if you decide that one is not good, if you got 5 decent ones, yeah, I'm thinking something like that drag bar. I don't know. It's kind of from a usability end. I'm not sure it's as easy, but like click, 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 click is going to be very annoying if it's by 1/4 inches. Although I don't know. I mean, they just don't vary that much. It's kind of the combination of the two that's interesting. And I want to put a little visualization in too, but we'll come back to that. That's a bonus thing. All right, but so what I think I want to do is I want a table or an object that represent the split for a given row, and then another object that represents the 2 splits, and then an array of these to represent all of them, which 5 is probably plenty. At some point we'll deal with selection too, but I think for now we'll just provide 5 of these boxes. Okay, so this is, let's see. So I think the way to do it, I'm always a little fuzzy. I don't know why, but I'm always a little fuzzy when struct or class is the better thing. I know I've seen examples where it's the class holds the array and the array is structs. So I think I'll try that and we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Oh, slider. Yeah, we used one for the set stuff, so we've at least got an example in our own code somewhere. So, all right. So let's start with the back of this object first, I guess. Domain apron plates. Okay, and I think this is, well, let's start down here like ought. Okay, so we'll create a new file. Let's test a given thing. So let's make an apron pleat split tests. Okay, and I don't think this object's very hard or struct. All right. Split starts 50-50. Okay, so if we make, let's say we make a split equals apron pleat split of 40, then split dot what? This is the initial value, so apron and split dot pleat. I think that's reasonable enough. Except this is 20 and okay, so I'm gonna pass this thing an initial value, and it's gonna default to splitting by half. I'll say split starts in half. Maybe that's better. All right, so we need an apron pleat split. Well, actually, we can do it in here for now. And this is where I'm not clear, but we'll try. Okay. No, I don't initialize these, so somebody should be complaining about that. Can the split change from waist to hip? No, it definitely can be different. I mean, like if you have a situation where the waist equals the hips, you make the waist a little smaller and the hip a little bigger. That's not answering the split question. Even on the splits though, you'll make you want the back end, usually the back end to be bigger than the front end, even if they have the same amount of space. Okay, yeah, that's what I expected. Let's well, we're not mutating anything yet, but I think we can get the test to pass. Well, to fail and then to pass. Okay, so we want apron view total divided by 2 and pleat view total divided by 2. Now, the thing I don't know, let's go back to the rules. Okay, the difference can be as much as 2 or 3 inches. Keep the total size consistent. Make sure it adds up. Try splits assigning more than half to the pleats. And we had all these other rules. Prefer a difference between the waist and the hip. Be sure the apron width at waist is less than the apron width at hips. Hip splits. Okay. Yeah, try for 1 inch more in pleat hips than apron hips. So you're definitely trying to mutilate it. Okay. Well, okay, so that's a great setup, but think of adjusting them. I almost think maybe I think like what we want to add in here is like a it's like an adjustment favoring the pleats. Okay, this can go. I want to say pleat steels. I don't know the right name, obviously. Okay, but let's start it off at 0. Okay, and then I think what I want. Okay, so if we start this thing out, it splits, and then if I say split dot give pleat 1/2. It's got to be a mutating function, but if I take it from the apron, it's 19.5, and if I add it to the pleat, it's 20.5. Okay, I'm trying to imagine the slider. Change one, you get the other for free. Yeah. Actually, I think both these will become variables. All right, so give pleat, and this is where I'm not on firm ground, but I'm gonna say mutating function, give pleat some amount of double. Okay, that will properly fail. Can I use, oh, I gotta make this a var. Okay, we'll see what that does. Okay, this second one should fail. The first one should still pass. Okay, so doesn't do anything. So, okay, so now I want to say pleat steels equals amount. Okay, and I'll do it this way for now. I'm also going to say apron minus equals pleat steels, and pleat plus equals pleat steels. And this is really a let. Okay, is that going to work? Okay, let's create apron pleat split. Now let's refine it. Yeah, we can make both all these calculated. both these calculated, I should say. Oops. So if I return total divided by 2, we may come better, minus Pleat steals. And then this one is total / 2 plus Pleat steals. Okay, and then the computation here goes away, and that goes away. I mean, I could keep, well, let's make sure this works before I start blathering about it. All right, he starts 0, so that's fine. Okay, I could keep half instead of total. Maybe I'll call it equal split. And then we'll move the total to here and then out of here. Okay, so this is sort of optimized if we do the slide, assuming we're going to do the slider thing. I guess it doesn't matter. We could add to this value as well as just set it directly. Okay, so that should all be good. Okay, and improve Apron Pleat split. Yeah. Okay, so now I think we need Apron Pleat splits being an array. No, it's I mean, it's a thing that's holding the waist and hip value of these. What do we call that? I'm going to call it a total split. Yeah, the slider can definitely be set to a 1/4 inch thing. I don't think it'll be that bad. I just wonder if the target audience is going to be comfortable with that, or if they rather like the feel of doing it. But it'll show up as it goes. Okay, so just naming is throwing me off, so don't worry about the name. All right. This is a scenario split. Okay. And I guess you're going to give it the initial waist and initial hip. Tests each okay, so let guess it's a var. This is a scenario equals scenario split. Wow, does that already exists? Oh, tests. I did that the hard way. Okay, scenario split. And then we want to do waist is 30, hips 34. Okay. Oh, I guess this can be a let. Scenario dot waist dot apron. Is half that. I don't know if this is helpful. Hips. Half 34, 17. Oh, I never moved my class out, did I? Yeah, okay. Well, we'll do that again and fix it in a moment. We get green. Okay, let's do struct scenario split. It's got a waist of type apron pleat split and hips of apron pleat split, and it takes in, oops, yes, well, no, I want this to be a double. I don't know, am I doing this well? I guess I'm jumping the gun. That didn't really fail yet. Yeah, it's almost too dumb to not worry about. Now, I'm getting further away from knowing. All right, so adjust waist, leaves hips alone. I don't know. Is this object necessary? Maybe this is not the right way. I don't know. Should I just have the 4 fields and then give to that? That seems redundant. Well, I'll write the test and let's see what happens. Okay, waist 30. All right, and now we're going to change that. We're going to say scenario dot waist dot give pleat 2.0. I guess I should have kept these two. Yeah, that's where I'm getting a little lost. When I stick these in my array, like what's going to happen? So I got to make these variable. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal to throw away, you know, two numbers. Okay, and then this should become 13. Well, let's go 2.5. Okay. Well, I think this just works. I can do the other way. Well, what do I know? 13.0. I'm not sure the right way to go about this. I think I want to treat it like an index, and I don't know if I should, if it's just a numeric index. Because I got to have a method at the top level. So the reason this fails is it modified. I think it modifies the value being held, but I didn't reassign it, so it didn't get a chance to keep it. Okay, let's say, what if I just say you're holding two scenarios? I don't know. Okay. Not sure I'm coming out any better. Oh. Pleat 2.5. Oh, jeez. Okay, let me undo then. I'm so ready to not think I know what I'm doing that I'm hurting myself, I guess. Okay, so you're saying yeah, I didn't want to use 2 because I didn't want these 17s to look alike. Okay, all right. So it does modify it as it should, or as I hope it should. But I think that still leaves me like, I don't know, the clients have to say scenario.waste.do this. Maybe that's still not a great idea. Well, let's get the test right and then we'll. hip gets 1. Oh. Apron goes -1. Hip goes +1. Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Okay, adjust hip sleeves. Oh, wait a minute. Did this work? If I say hips, give. Oh. No, all these are messed up. Haha. Apron, pleat, apron, pleat, apron, pleat. Okay, that was dumb luck. Or, yeah, weird. Okay, yeah, let's take a break. Create apron, no. What did I call it? Scenario split. Okay, yeah, let's take a break. 2-3 minutes, and we'll come back and get this, figure out a better interface, because I really don't like this, what do they call it, train wreck? You know, it's law of Demeter violation. You're going into an object inside it and passing a message to the thing, instead it should be up at this level. So we'll come back to that. All right, so see you in about 3 or 4 minutes. All right, welcome back. Well, what do I think? In a way, well, I think our choices are either index it by number or by name. And I guess I'd be more inclined to go by name. So I'm going to change the interface here, and then let's move that other one out before I forget that again. Okay, so here's apron pleat split. Move apron pleat split to its own file. All right. And now the scenario. So I think what I want you to do is give me let's give me field to size, and its type is string to double. Okay, so you're going to tell me waist 40, hips 42. Okay, and then now, okay, and then I'm going to hold field to split, and that's going to be an array, a map, or dictionary of string to double, no, apron pleat split. Okay. And I don't know if I can do a map. From key string to double returns an array. Values. Transform double. Yeah, that's the one I want. Map values. Double goes to the new thing. Okay, so that creates a new dictionary where instead of the double, we use the double to create an apron split object. Okay. And now this, and I think I'm going to keep the capital letters. Waist 30. Hips 34. Now, how do I want to get to them? Is that what I want to get back? I think so. Can I make it optional and let the caller worry about it? Okay, so now I can say waist. All right, let's get these first. Oops. I'm still reaching inside in some sense. But I can give a method that doesn't have to do that, so that's okay. Okay, now these. Oh, I did 30, 34 each time, okay. Okay, now I want to do this. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe that will work better. Let's say give Pleat the field and the amount. And if the field exists, we'll give it the amount. So that's really field to split subfield question dot give Pleat amount. Can I use mutating member on? Oh, yes. Okay, I think that, gotta make these bars. Which I think is good. That's kind of what I want them to be. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I've had this part of me that wants to hold off on creating enums for things because you get so many kicking around, but maybe that's okay. Let's do it. All right. So enum, maybe it's the names that get me. Okay, it's waist or hips is body location. Work head to toe. Okay. Now this, like you said, we don't even need this really. Oh, I think I can do that one with a search. Okay. Body location, I don't know, measuring point maybe? I'm trying to think what my wife would call it. Measuring point. Okay, that's reasonable enough. All right, should be okay. Okay, and let's extract. I think I'll put this in its own file. Scenario split. How does that leave you? Okay. All right. Now we're getting we're still not able to pull a view together because we need the scenarios, which is the list of these things. Okay, and that I'm gonna make an array. Apron plate view. Okay, that's where we want it. I guess we'll call it scenarios. What's it going to do? It's going to have the list of them as a published field. And maybe that's all for now. So I'll just create it and see how we feel. Scenarios. No, why don't I just call them? Scenario split. Property cannot be declared public because type uses an internal type. Oh, I got to get these things public. Okay. Okay, now this thing. Well, I want to create a bunch of them, but I don't know. Let's, where's my view? They only work with the hip. Um, Basically, they they decide how many pleats at the hip, and then that tells them how many pleats at the top, at the waist, because I mean, they basically they basically shrink them as they go top to bottom, but it all just sort of falls out. They know the waist they're targeting, and but I don't know. My wife has never talked about any kind of calculation there. I'll have to ask on that one. Yeah. They really focus on the pleats for the waist at the hip for all this stuff because that's kind of the start of the actual pleat. Okay. Above that, well, the area above that's called the fell. And I'm not sure how they decide that one. Gosh, you would think they would have to do the math, right? I mean, if there's a 2 inch difference across 17 pleats, right? You got to divide out somewhere. Oh, yeah, this let me capture this. Oh well. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Ask. Okay. Back to the view. I'm sort of imagining a scenario view with the scenario in it. Okay. And scenario is one of these. I guess that's a bind. No, it doesn't have to be anything. It's just showing it, right? Well, no, they're editable. Binding private var scenario of this. Okay. And I don't know if we can put text of let's just try and print it. All right, and then this thing needs scenario and we'll just do a constant. Scenario split. Okay. Oh, no printing on scenario. Dot sub waste. Can I do this? No. This is just trying to get something out there. It's inaccessible. Actually, I think I can just say var. Okay, let's see it. Yeah, they definitely adjust every pleat. I think you're right there. I think they must be doing a calculation on that. That's probably why she still likes the calculator part. Although, like, once you've made the decision how many pleats, right, and you know your inches, it's just one division. So I think it's probably not hard. So you've got 17 pleats and you only got this many inches. You would say at the top, well, it'd be the waist divided by the number of pleats. But we can do that. I mean, I think there's probably a missing connection. Well, I mean, we sort of intended to do something, but I think there's a connection between the choices we make on the apron pleat split should feed right into the pleat designer. I mean, we did it standalone because it was first, but honestly, I think it would be better to make it directly linked, and then adding one more division in to say what the hip pleat size is would, or the waist size would be very trivial. Okay, what have I got wrong? Has no member for each. Oh, did that backwards. So convert split. Can fix that. Cannot convert value of type split to binding. All right, make sure your type. Oh, if I could spell. Cannot convert. I mean, is this dollar? Why I go crazy on this stuff. Well, let's just pass it for now, and then we'll pick up on the binding later. Yeah, I was afraid I'd have to do that. Scenario split conform to hashable. Okay, but I think as long as, oops, scenario split does not conform to hashable. Oh, I think that's because these two don't. Hopefully I can do that. I don't know, I'm making something that's not really... I don't know. The for each is not really accurate that it's that. I mean, the index should hold, it shouldn't matter, but they could have the same values. Okay, all this because I haven't created any scenarios yet. And this is why I need bindings. So let's see. Okay. I mean, I can let this thing create a bunch of them. It's really when you change it. I don't know. Maybe they should hit add on these. Right? Because it's a little weird because scenario split wants that map. All right, let's just see if we can get a view out of this. Okay, well, there's scenarios. View. All right. So I think trying to imagine using this thing, right? If I change, well, I'm back to this should be optional. If they haven't set the hips, I mean, ideal should really just be a question mark, and these scenarios should all be question marks. Um, okay. That's kind of one thing to do. So let's look at this. AP split tables. I think we have the tables and view. Okay, the thing that's missing is measurement table should know about nullable designs or values. No, the most important thing, right? What's the most important thing? The gap I have is like this value, once they've set these, you should be able to start adjusting your scenarios. But like, should I put out 5 scenarios all set to that same starting point? That seems weird. Like it almost should just be blank. But then, like, are you going to get, where's that value going to be? I mean, maybe when the value is set, when ideal hips or waist gets set, maybe both. Like, I think we should put the first one in. And really, I think what should happen is if you edit that scenario, we should drop in the next scenario ready to edit. Hip be stored as waist difference. No, they don't tie together. Yeah, it's only across because you actually do make a decision here, right? That, well, we do, but if this is too small compared to that, we adjust it. If you change the waist, well, if you change the waist to be bigger than the hips, it will change. So I can do that scenario. So if we do 20 and 30 and 20, whatever. Now, if we change this to 40, let's just do it directly. Then the hips will be smaller than the waist, and it should change to 40 as well. Yeah. Okay, but in the scenario tables, you don't really adjust them. You kind of lock in on the hip and waist, and that's what you get. So it's really a change in this. Well, it'd be awful easy to add a little plus sign here and let them create their own scenarios. Default one with hips and waist being empty at first. All right. Well, I want to address that. Maybe I don't show these if these two aren't both defined, because you can't really do a split. You can't analyze it properly or anything until you've got both these values. And they know them pretty early, right? I mean, they take the measurements and then they come do their calculations. All right, let's do that. I think we'll defer the view stuff further. Split tables and scenario view mostly. Okay, so let's make this thing know about nullables. I guess I can close tabs to the right. Oh, if everything's green, we're gonna. So we created view, made struct public. Measurement table. Oh, that's the view. All right. Kilt measures. Okay. And we have a test for this thing. Okay. Derive values that are always copies. Yes. Okay. Let's check the starting values. Okay, that shouldn't even compile. I don't think. Maybe it doesn't know it's getting the value, so yeah, it'll fail anyway. Yeah, I would like to show a little image. I think they well, yeah, I'm not sure if it's the apron or the pleats or both. Okay, these values are not nil. Okay. I'm going to make a bunch of other things go wonky, though. Okay, now these. Right, everybody out there is going to have to adjust to these being nullable. compile, I gotta do something like that. Now these guys have to put exclamation points. Exclamation. This one's trickier. Gotta think. No. Oh, assert equal doesn't mind nullables. Okay. So it is measurement table. Oh. All right. Put a little function helper. Optional quarters takes a double question mark. Turn to string. Otherwise, return value dot format quarter. Okay. Make measurement table values nullable. And this kind of function, yeah. I don't know what that. Not sure what words are going in there. Let's see. Oh, this stuff does. I'll leave that for now. Okay, so it's clean. Okay, so I think the consequence of that is if you're showing this thing and the value isn't there, I don't think it should show that view. No, I think this needs to come up. Observed object, and then apron pleat needs to have the value object, the state object rather, and then needs to pass it in. That should be passed in. Do I still have one? Okay. Instance, oh. Okay. So now the top level view knows this, and we can say, whoops. Okay. I want to ask this thing if well, it's really a question of, do we have ideal waist and ideal hip? Allows scenarios. And we haven't defined that. Kilt measure test.
Let me go wash my hands real quick, okay?
Okay, so we don't have allows measures. Allow scenarios. Actual waist not nil and actual hips not nil. Okay. Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. Those tests should pass. Oh, yeah, I guess I did that kind of. Gee, let's just make sure it can fail. Okay, what's the matter? They disappear when you look at them. Okay. All right. Make Kilt measures tell whether scenarios can be done. Oh, sorry. Does length ever change? No. I don't think there's harm in it being rounded. I mean, you could have a 26.5-inch length or something, I guess. I mean, I don't know if they really get down to the half-inch level there or not. The waist, they definitely do. I guess sometimes maybe somebody would do a 1/4 inch, but yeah, length pretty much gets untouched. They just, let's see, I forget what they're measuring. I guess they're measuring from the top of the waist down to the top of the knee, and they just kind of default it to 1/3 being the fell and 2/3 being the floppy pleats. Okay. This can be used here. So if not allow scenarios, yeah, if we can't calculate it, then return nil. Okay. Should pass test. Oh, I'm a little worried about this. It keeps disappearing when we go look at it. Yeah. Okay. Use allow scenarios. Let's just say locally. Okay. All right. Okay, well, our view now, I guess if we run, okay, so we don't see that scenario view primitive as it was, and now we do. And if I delete waste, we don't. Okay, that part's good. Apron plate view. All right. I mean, there's a little performance hit for doing it this way, but we just don't have that much going on. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so now we got to work out how these scenario views get populated. And what happens, like, I don't know. Like if we did the calculation on the pleats page and it said, it would really work out better if your hip was 34.5. Then how do we change that? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, if the hips change, well, if ideal hips change one way or the other, then our current scenarios are invalid. But it's a little obnoxious to clear them out. And especially because the way you change this is you type and they go away for a brief moment till you type them, or something. They can disappear on you. But on the other hand, we don't want people saying, oh, I changed my hips and I forgot to change one of my scenarios. That would be really obnoxious. So maybe changing it does change it. Okay, so on change of allow scenarios. Should store Pleat designer values in the scenarios. That I don't know. I mean, I think that has to be a really conscious decision, and maybe it even indicates that the ideal should be editable. Because, like, at some level, you want to say your measurement is your measurement, and once you set those, like, why should they change? But your ideal, that's already kind of a function of things. I mean, I could kind of see. I'm gonna say I could kind of see ideals being editable, but I don't know. All right, I think I got to get a workable scheme started here. We only have a few minutes, but I think if allow scenario changes, then we should, if it changes to true, well, if it changes to false, I think we should clear out our list, and if it changes to true, we should create a new one based on those ideals. Okay, so that gets into this table on change of measures.allow scenarios. Then we're gonna change scenarios with $0. Okay, telling us whether it's true or false. Okay, and change scenarios is a function. Bool, and it just has side effects locally. It views side effects, kind of. I mean, it's kind of like pushing a button. Like if you said a reset button, kind of changing it, deleting one is kind of a reset. I think that's the right way to go. Okay. All right. So if you change scenarios, all right. Well, I think if new allow scenarios do something else, it was false. Well, if we change it to false, I think we ought to say measures.clear. Okay. Where, well, let's go. Kilt measures.clear. No, it's not measures.clear. It's our scenarios. requires wrappers. Okay, we don't have a clear, but let's get down to scenarios. Okay, so I'm saying I want a clear on here that will take care of that. Okay, let's comment that for a minute. And then this one is create an initial scenario. Okay. Scenarios. What's my keystroke for this? This is like controls. Control command. No, is that it? Next counterpart. Control command arrow. Oh, scenarios doesn't have a test. Okay, well, let's give it a clear. Okay. I think that much can go. Yeah, we won't clear it till we set it once. Okay, so yeah, let's run it and see. Give us something to start from. Okay, so I don't have it set. I'm gonna have it set there, but if I delete this, the scenario should clear. Yeah. Now, I don't know if I do it again. Yeah, I don't have anything to get it back. It's only there because I made a silly initial scenario. Just arbitrary. Okay. Well, public func add append split. Should store Pleat designer values in the scenarios. Oh, you already, that was an older question. Okay. Right. This, I don't know. I'm kind of driving without tests here. It's that last second thing. Scenario. Oops, is that what it takes? This is only if scenarios are allowed. And let's, well, we'll leave that one. All right, just to see something. Okay, so if I fill in these two values, I should turn on and add 2. Yeah. Okay. Oh, did that work? 4. No. Okay, so I may have to, yeah, if the ideal waist or hips change, I need to monitor those. All right, well, that gives us a place to pick up. All right, well, thanks for joining. Next session is tomorrow, Thursday. Tomorrow is Thursday. I'm finally catching up. 2 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time and 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. We'll look forward to it. And a reminder: this is tomorrow's the last session this week. Let me catch that comment. It needs to button to keep a scenario. Yeah, we definitely need something like that. What I was thinking of, what I think I'd like to do, the tables they use are a bit in flux, but the normal way is to put 2 more columns for the splits, and then I was going to put a little star next to it, and you could either click it on or off, and if you click it on, it becomes the selected one, and its values show up here. And ideally, you could print that because they make a little printed form, or a form where they keep track of all the information. But anyway, yeah, so we got a note for that too. All right. Thanks again. See you tomorrow or some other time, I hope. Bye-bye.